What is going on, guys? Welcome back to two generic DPS characters that aren't Neovisions yet before Neovision's banner review. Today we're going over our Final Fantasy VIII character Squall and Seifer here. Coming in, is this Seifer? I'd have never known how to pronounce that man's name, but thank you guys so much for spending a little bit of your time here today. Thank you guys for the support via Patreon as well as YouTube. It's excellent. You guys are excellent. Let's get in here and talk about what happened here. There's some funny things to go over here. It's going to be a good time. We're starting out here with Lone Lion Squall here. Big limit burst damage dealing character. Got some global upgrades, but I think they globally upgraded him globally wrongly. Globally incorrect. Can we coin a term for that? Like globally bad? I don't know. The camera's off. I'm recording this super late at night. Didn't have internet for a while. Anyways, let's get in here. The TMR, the mightiest. Actually a very strong TMR here. It is pretty mighty. 50% limit burst damage and 50% true double hand. So very strong true double hand character. Very strong LB damage boost. If you're using a 2DH character with LB damage, you're going in, you're going to have the mightiest on them 9 times out of 10. It's very strong, it's very slot efficient for a lot of your builds out there. So if you do get access to Lone Lion Squall, either from the banner, you get them on your daily, you post on the YouTube feed down there. Got him! Used one ticket. It went from a 3-star down to a 2-star down to a 1-star, turned to Magic Terra, came back up, boom, Lone Lion Squall. Dude, put that in the comment section down below. I can't believe it. You're the luckiest man alive. STMR, dude, Lionheart plus, 180 attack, two-handed greatsword, average greatsword variance, also has the Birth of a Lion effect for 25% LB damage and 50% TDH. If you don't have a very strong super TMR weapon, that's a greatsword, obviously, this is going to be very, very strong for you guys out there. I know we just had access to what's-his-faces from Valkyr Profile, the Thunder LB damage thing. I told you guys, hold off on that thing. If you're looking for an LB damage greatsword, specifically, Lionheart Plus is going to be way better for you than that thing was. And also, that thing just isn't all that good nowadays. If you don't need a great sword, two-handed one, there's a lot of options out there for you guys. You don't necessarily need this one. 25% limit burst damage is in a weird spot. Doesn't play nice with a lot of the stuff out there. Can be overcapped by a little bit, undercapped by a little bit. It's just a very strong super TMR, but it's not necessary, especially have something for Lone Lion Squall like the Black Sparky, because he can wear it, and that does have LB damage on it, and it is actually going to be better for him because two-handed weapons like the Black Sparky, they have higher variance because of their weapon archetype here. So let's go in here. He can wear swords, great swords, the shooty shoot pew pew weapons, and the maces. Okay, so very strong. You're going to be using a two-handed great sword or a two-handed shooty shoot weapon. You can read that right there. We've got to take it away before it bans me. And we have armor selection, heavy armor, light armor, clothing, hats, and helmets there. And let's get into his innate special abilities. He does have Draw Plus. This is going to be technically used to give him 10 LB gauge crystals, though he's got better ways to do that. His first big skill here that he learns, 6-star level 1. I love this. He learns Agile Edge Plus at level 1 6-star. Gives him 12 limit burst gauge crystals, and it's a Stardust Ray skill. You're going to be using this to fill back up his limit burst so he can do the big LB damage. That's really what his kit is for. That's really what he's designed around. Him as a chainer, he did get global upgrades for it, but he's just, honestly, guys, not that great of a chainer. You can use him for chaining, but he's predominantly there for the AoE LB damage. That's what you want to try to capitalize on him, even though it doesn't really pan out that they globally upgraded him for that. Now, we also have the Flame Beret, Thunder Beret, and Wind Beret. These are his elemental imbues and imperil, so he has Fire, Thunder, and Wind imbue and imperil. Both of the, or all of these, I should say, are all Stardust Ray. They're all single target. So he has 3 elemental options. I left the Agile Edge Plus because at level 80, he learns Normal Agile Edge. 79 levels later, he learns the normal version instead of the plus version that he learns at level 1. I don't know if this was like a mistake or on someone's part or something, but this is funny to me. He gets the plus version right away at 1, and he gets the normal version at 80. All right. The normal version has a lower mod at base and fills half as many LB gauge crystals, and he gets that 79 levels later. Sweet. He gets dual cast and triple cast starting at 7-star, and then he gets the Lion's Rise here at 110. It's going to cure his breaks if he has them. It's going to make him immune to attack, defense, magic, and spirit break for 10 turns. 250% attack buff, and gives him a 200% high tide buff for 10 turns to the caster. So a lot of longevity in the buffs here. No LB damage though, nothing of that nature. He also has the Lion's Spirit, which is a 2-turn cooldown available on 1. This can give a lot of multiplier increases to the different berets, the Agile Edge, the Agile Edge Plus, and the Lion's Vigor. As you can see here, Agile Edge actually gets a smaller mod increase than Agile Edge Plus. Okay, so Agile Edge is in there. We'll talk about that, the differentiations between Agile Edge and Plus. Agile Edge actually does do more damage in the long run over Agile Edge Plus, but a lot of times if you're filling up your limit burst gauge, you're going to be using Agile Edge Plus anyways because it gives you twice as many limit burst crystals. On top of that though, this is also going to give you damage mitigation of 75% for 1 turn to the caster. Now, Lion's Vigor here is available on turn 3, which is a 120% fire and lightning and barrel for 5 turns to an enemy. It also gives you 12 LB gauge crystals, and it's a 45 times mod, but it's a single hit chain finish ability there. So his 120 imperils are locked behind a 3-turn cooldown, not available until turn 3. His passives here, let's sort them up real quick. You can see he gets a plethora of attack passives. You get some defense and HP and spirit passives in there as well. A pretty decent amount. He's not going to be super crazy, but he's not going to be paper thin either. He does get 200% true double hand, as well as 60% Esper bonus stats. So you get a little bit of extra stats from your Esper. Nothing crazy there. He does have Beast and Machine Killer totaling 100%, and he gets a 9 times multiplier increase to Agile Edge. So this is why Agile Edge actually ends up doing more damage than Agile Edge Plus does. But remember guys, Agile Edge gives you 6 LB gauge crystals versus the Plus version's 12, which is actually pretty relevant, all things considered, considering that his LB costs 34 crystals there. So 6 plus 6 plus 6 is only 18. You're getting just over halfway, whereas if you do 12, 12, and 12, or 12, 12, and maybe a normal Agile Edge, you get some chains built up, you get some crystals from hitting the monster, you can get out that way. So you're going to be using Agile Edge Plus a lot of the time for that LB gauge crystal fill. Onto the defensive side, he does have the chance to ignore fatal damage if his HP is above 5%, so he's got the Guts passive there. He's got a chance to counter attack with a Bolting Strike skill, so you can put him in the arena party, I guess. He's immune to Blind, Paralyzation, Confusion, and Petrify. Big one here, he has 25% limit burst damage. Wait, 25? 25% limit burst damage? Lone Lion Squall, he is pretty lonely on the LB damage there. And as you can see, 25% LB damage, right? No LB damage buff, so he is thirsty for limit burst damage gear. His multiplier here on his blasting zone though was very high, 58 times mod, 30 hit AoE skill. This is not chain, does not have the same frames as like Hyo and Cherain and Elena. This does not have that. It also isn't a roll array. I think it actually is a roll array, but it's delayed or something. You can get it, I've heard, don't quote me, I've heard you can get it to chain with AR, but I'm not certain to be sure. Because it's a CG LB and he's got to move and cast and stuff, so it's going to be very hard to get it to chain with that if it even has the same frames, which I don't think that it does. And I know for sure it does not have the same frames as Hyo and Cherain and Elena and Mastermind Zon and all that stuff. So what do you need to do with Lone Lion Squall? You need to feed him limit burst damage gear. They tried something new with this character where they gave him a very high LB damage multiplier of 58, made it AoE so you can hit a bunch of enemies with it, but they didn't give him very much limit burst damage in his passives, right? They didn't give him very much LB damage increases anywhere because he has no active skill to increase limit burst damage either. He's also a true double hand, so you're going to be needing, you know, to fill in those LB damage pieces with his TMR, with maybe his Super TMR or Black Sparky, maybe get some Esther TMRs that can help you out there a lot as well. Different pieces of LB damage gear, left, right, front, and center. It's going to be really hard for Lone Lion Squall to max out his LB damage and killers and TDH and attack all at the same time, and maybe fit a piece of survival gear in there. Is he good? Is he strong? Are you going to be having fun with your Final Fantasy VIII character, Squall? Can you make him work? Yes. Is it going to take a lot of effort and gear to pull off those big, cool things and the party members to support him, right? He wants an LB damage buff from someone like Luna Freya or Rivera, or in the future, if we have any more of those characters. Yes, that's what you're going to be needing to do to maximize his limit burst damage, because his chaining numbers, guys, they're just not super crazy strong. They're just not, right? You start at 18, you get an extra 12 fierce, so that's going to be 30. And then you get 9. So you're looking at 39 times multiplier on his triple cast. That's going to be it. That's pretty much where he's sitting. 39 times mod. That's nothing super special at all. It's not terrible, but it's nothing special, guys. So that's going to be Lone Lion Squall. If you're a fan of FF8, that's what you're going to be using him for. Quick detail there for you on Squall. Moving over, we have Seifer, Seifer, Sephiroth. Chain families here. We have Bolt and Strike, Absolute Mirror of Equity, Chaos Wave Awakened even. This guy is everywhere. He's going to be very similar if you were around for the Full Metal Alchemist collaboration with King Bradley. He's going to be very, 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 very dodgy, miragey. He can get up to 80% 80% evasion as a TDH character if you happen to have his TMR and his super TMR. I know. That's crazy. No other pieces of dodge gear. And he also gets a lot of stacks of Mirage on some of his cooldown skills. So the TMR here is the Gunblade Wielder, 10% dodge and 50% true double hand. The Hyperion is his STMR, 180 attack, two-handed greatsword that has 2 greater heights as a passive, 50% true double hand, and 20% dodge as well. So, you know, if we ever get like Neo Vision Demon Rain, yeah, that would be sweet, right? Neo Vision Demon Rain, give him this, give him that. Kept that TDH out there, give him some dodge percent. That could be pretty powerful. So these are obviously pretty strong for his gimmick. He wants to be an evade character, not take any damage from AoE physical attacks, right? That's where this character, or a character like this, is going to shine, where you're fighting a boss that does both AoE physical and AoE magical. You obviously can't cover both things at the same time. He can actually give you an answer to that. You can take your damage dealer, have him and a duplicate character, right, for a friend, for a normal trial, have them both be Seifer, and then have them both be dodge, and any sort of AoE physical attack that goes out, right, in a normal one, you can just dodge through it, or you can Mirage through it, and they're going to be fine, and then your AoE magic cover tank is going to cover him from all the other magic damage, and that makes a pretty deadly combo. That's kind of what makes him stand out as a character. That's his gimmick, like I said earlier. So he's got swords, great swords, shooty type bang bang weapons, and the old maces there. We have hats, helmets, clothing, light armor, heavy armor, and the legendary accessory that I'm pretty sure almost every character in the game can wear, outside of LMS can wear them too. I'm sure there's someone that can't wear accessories. You let me know. It's probably some weird character that can't wear anything. Anyway, moving on, we have his main kit here. So we have Yaksha Slice here, which is going to be a low damage, absolute mirror of equity chaining skill, but it also does a 100% chance to provoke for 1 turn. So you can kind of use him sort of similarly to what Esther tried to kind of do back in the day, where Esther had like a cover and she had like a provoke, but this character is going to be able to do that emergency tank thing way better than, as far as single target damage, than Esther could, because of how dodgy he can be natively while doing and fulfilling the damage roll. He doesn't have to sacrifice really any sort of gear to maintain his damage that he's doing. We have Immortal Blade here, 6 turn cooldown, available on turn 6, 54 times mod, absolute mirror of equity, gives you 10 LB gauge crystals. Remember, you can't use that until turn 6, so pretty decent there. Then we have his Darkness Beret and Ground Beret, 100% in perils, and then a 5-turn imbue. Obviously, one is earth, one is dark. These are both absolute mirror of equity as well. Then we have the Darkest Cut, 20 times mod, inflicts blind 100% of the time to one enemy, useful against 5% of the bosses, absolute mirror of equity, chaining skill there. Then we have Earth Shatter. This is earth physical damage, but it's a magic attack, okay, that does physical damage. It's Chaos Wave Awakened, and it has a 100% earth in peril for 5 turns to one enemy there as well. So very weird thing there. Remember, since this is a magic attack too, this is going to utilize magic killers. It's a very wonky skill, to be sure. It's a very, very wonky skill, to be sure. And since it still does physical damage, no, it's not going to be like Swan Lu Xinglong in Dark Visions, where you bring him to mage fights and have him do a bunch of damage, because Shuang Lu Xinglong is a physical attack with magic damage. Those fights don't actually care about what attack type you're doing, they care about what your damage type is. That's why you can take Shuang Lu Xinglong to the mage fights, because Shuang Lu Xinglong is a physical attack that does magic damage, and those monsters have low spirit. So if you try to take Seifer to the Dark Visions, he's going to get in there and he's still going to do low damage. So very weird that they made this a magic attack with physical damage instead of like a physical attack that does magic damage. I'm not sure why it's like this, but if that was their intention, guys, you did it literally the wrong way. You have to swap that around if you want. You got to swap it around, man. You got to make a physical attack that does magic damage. You've done it before. You had the right idea, I think, but you got to hit that reverse button. You got to rewind it. Someone's got to hit him with the reverse Uno card. All right. Now we have Triple Fire Cross. Cast any of Seifer's skills here 2 to 3 times. 3 times is unlocked at 7-star. Otherwise, you're at 2-star there, doing double cost. 2-star, 6-star doing double cast there. Then we have his cooldown skills. The Knight's Ruse, 8-turn cooldown, available on turn 1. 70% defense break for 1 turn to an enemy, with an 8-turn 100% attack, defense, magic, and spirit break resistance for himself, 250% attack buff, and 200% high tide. So this is very, very, very similar to Squall's, buff here, except this guy has a recastable defense break. So you're going to get that 70% defense break, and then next turn it's going to cast it again, and then it's going to cast it again. And the auto casts are random. This skill is kind of whatever. These buffs, honestly, that Seifer and Lone Lion Squall have, these are like old kind of buffs, man. They last a long time. That's their gimmick, I guess. But these are like, we've seen kind of stuff like this for a while. 250% attack buff. I mean, that's what, they didn't have like Hio. Didn't Hio have that when he came out? You know, old man Hio here, Seifer, dude. You gotta go back to school, bro. That's why you don't drop out of Balam Garden. You gotta pay attention more in class, man. This is not new, man. This is not new. Knight's Vitality, 8 turn cooldown, available on turn 1. Physical damage 30 mod to one enemy. AT chaining skill, so absolute mirror of equity. I call it AT, even though it's AMOE. All right, quick lesson in case you dropped out of Balam Garden. AT is absolute tranquility, which was the unofficial translated name of absolute mirror of equity before it came over. Kind of wish they left it absolute tranquility, because absolute mirror of equity is a lot more words, even though it's 2 more. It's a lot more. All right, that's nearly double, 50% extra, 100% extra. Excuse me, 1.5 times more. No, 2 times more. I'm gonna cut that. I'm not gonna cut it out of the video. All right. Anyway, Knight's Assault, 4 turn cooldown available on turn 4. A single cast when dual wielding. 120% Earth and Dark resistance. I can't believe I just memed on myself trying to meme on this non-existent entity. All right, 120% Dark and Earth and Peril for 5 turns to an enemy. 70% defense break. Inflicts death 100% of the time. Also 100% of the time banned in arena maybe. And then 48% chance to deal physical damage. 48 mod. I don't think this 48% chance is supposed to be there. Wiki team, if you watch this video, if this doesn't make any sense, I'm pretty sure it's just 48 mod to one enemy. If it can't death it, it'll do 48 mod to it. That's how all the other skills have worked. I don't know why this or 48% chance. That needs to get scrubbed out of there. If that's written in the game, that also needs to get scrubbed out of there. And Gumi, you got to figure it out, man. So let's go into his passives, RQ. Passives, you can notice right here, he has 20, 30, 40, 50% passive dodge. So 50% there, his TMR gives him 10, that takes him to 60. If you do happen to get his STMR, that's 20 more. That's 80% dodge. Just his TMR and STMR like we talked about before. He does happen to have 250% true double hand, and that does include those evasions and all that good stuff. That 20% is from wearing his TMR as well. So 250% TDA, so very easy to just throw in another 20% like dodge roll or something, or a Kaito TMR, or what Kaito Super TMR, or anything of that nature. You just need 20% more evasion. You can get that from a lot of places. Ring of Lucii, Protect Grappler, you know, a lot of places. You guys can figure it out. The dodge gear is everywhere nowadays. We also have a bunch of attack passives, a little bit of spirit and HP and defense thrown in there. He's got a fair amount of defense actually. Look at that, 120% defense, a little bit of HP and MP. Not as much spirit, but it's there. It's there. It's like 70%. Yeah, 70% spirit. Esper bonus stats 50%. He has a beady bird killer, 75% there. And then we're going to tone it back down. We have Darkness Cut times 10 mod increase. Darkness and Ground Beret 5 times mod increase. And then the Darkest Cut, which turns out is not the Dankest Cut, gets another 8 times mod increase. Total of 18 times mod increase there. He also has Zantetsuki in reverse, which is the best part about this character because that's his counter. He counters with Zantetsuki in reverse. If you're a fan of FF8, I'm not going to spoil it in the video, but if you know where this comes from, you know it's the biggest moment in FF8. Unofficial, has nothing to do with the friggin' storyline, but it's the most badass thing ever to occur. And tell me what it was down below in the comment section. See how many of you people know exactly what's up with it. How many people are actually true diehard FF8 fans? Other than that, he has 25% LB damage increase, 50% high tide, and his LB gets upgraded as well with his passives being leveled up. He has no mercy, which was, I do believe, his LB in FF8, and it's a 48 times mod with a 70% defense break. Is he super special? Is he going to be breaking the meta? Are his skills just so strong? No, not really. Like we talked about before, he can triple cast. His mods are decent. Nothing super crazy. His main gimmick is being able to be 100% dodge and not really having to worry about him. Remember, Darkest Cut here, 18 times mod increase from his passives. There's no real mod increases here. I don't think he has any at all mod increases from his actives or his limit burst. So Darkest Cut is going to be his highest mod. It'll be 48. 38, excuse me, 38 times mod. Like we talked about, nothing meta breaking is good, isn't meta breaking. So if you're a fan of the character, you're going to be able to get in there, do damage, have him be super dodgy and survivable. You're going to have a lot of fun with him as well if you get this bad boy. Anyways, guys, remember, what happens, Zantetsuken Reverse, put it down there. Let me know what you think about Seifer, and let me think what you know. Let me know what you think about Lone Lion Squall as well. Thank you guys so much for the supports. Prepare. Anniversary's coming in. It's gonna be a good time. Hopefully it's gonna be a fun time. Hopefully we get a lot of cool news. Hopefully they're gonna do like a live stream or something like last time. But have fun out there with your weekend there. I'm gonna be out of town for a couple of days there, so hopefully I can get some videos done. But until then, stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.